Terri Murphy here. Glad you can join me for this session of Sketch Garden. And we can start out by looking at the gardens we have in our own homes. So if you have something like this, feel free to use it. Or let's go outside. And here you are in my wildflower garden. We have milkweed plants and other type of plants that will attract pollinators like bees and butterflies and even some hummingbirds. You can draw a clump of flowers or a singular flower, or you can look into your vegetable garden and draw something from there. Don't forget about your lawn ornaments. This sun will appear in the one that I do, and this frog is just here to say hi. These coneflowers will appear in my drawing, as well as this trailing trumpet vine. And once we had a tree that died, and we made her into the goddess of spring, Persephone. This is the finished drawing. And when you go outside, take your time with anything that you draw. Really look at the object and rather deconstruct it into its basic shapes. If you're drawing the flowers of a petal, draw them one at a time. The drawing is what counts, and then the painting will go a lot easier. And here's the final picture. So here's our finished sketch. I kind of loaded it up with images and words. You don't have to put that many words in yours. I just wanted to give you a good taste of what could happen in your picture. So you can paint this while you're outside. If you don't have paints, feel free to use colored pencils. And I'm not going to go outside today because it is rather cold and a little bit rainy out there. So I decided to work indoors, which is fine. You can also work from your memory, or you can work from photos. So you can see these tomatoes right here, and I took a photo, which will just give me an idea of the light and dark values and maybe some color suggestions. My plan for this is to not paint everything, but just lightly paint some areas, leave some areas white, and then concentrate color in certain areas. So let's see if we can pull that off. I'm going to start with these tomatoes, and according to our picture here, you can see that the tomatoes are lighter in value than the rest of the leaves. So that's all I'm going to follow. I'll put some lightness here. Now I always advise to have a little cheat sheet here so you can see the color that you are going to be using that's a little bit too bright for me. And you can actually mix right on here and use this color. So very quickly I'm just going to color these. I may go back and darken this color, but in watercolors you work from light to dark. So this is the lightest value that is going to be on these tomatoes. And as you can see, I like to just keep a little white square there, the highlight that suggests roundness. And you can see that I really spend no more than, maybe a half a minute on these. As we go down, same thing. These are going to be lighter in value, so I'm not going to recharge my brush at all because I want to keep them light. Okay, so that's it for those. And I'm going to go through this entire scene here and put the light values down. Instead of working on one area and finishing it completely, we're going to go from light to building up our dark areas. So this is a lawn ornament that I have in front of my house. And it's made out of, I guess, wrought iron and glass. So the wrought iron is sort of a greenish kind of blue. And then the inside of the face is like a sculpted glass. Now that we have the base light color down, we can go ahead and put in some darker values. And what I want to do is keep the center of interest in the middle. So we'll start with that coneflower. And just bring up, hike up the color of it. I'm still leaving some lightness in it and being aware of which petals are underneath some of the others and darkening them up. While leaving some other ones still light. You see, when you press that brush down, it hardly has any, if it hardly has any watercolor in it, and you press it down, it'll pick up the texture of the watercolor paper. And that's kind of nice to have it sparkle through like that. So I'll go through this whole painting and start putting medium tones all over the place and come back and show you what that looks like.
For Prospect Heights Library kids, the code word is ladybug. Here is the finished painting for Sketch Garden. I hope you were able to follow along with your own painting and use the demonstration here to inform yourself on your own sketch and painting. We hope you'll join us again for a Young Artists Family Workshop.